has been the hardest experience I've ever had to endure, but it's an honor to look out at all of you today, and as his daughter, I am so proud to be able to be here, standing in front of all of you and looking out at all of you. It's beautiful to see the view that he had when he was performing. You all remember him from where you were sitting or standing, and right now I get to see you all from his perspective, and it's absolutely gorgeous. While putting this event together, I was truly awed at his connections that he had with people. He met all of you throughout so many years, and he managed to bring us all together today. If you're from California or Wellsville or the Finger Lakes and everywhere in between, he left a lasting impression. And when I think about a life fulfilled, I couldn't imagine it being any other way. We work very hard for riches. We can try to do what's right every single day, but at the end of our road, it's the people that we have connected with that make our life worth living. And every single one of you has helped make his life the best life that he could have ever had. It's very true. Thank you. It's very true and humbling that the way that life gets put in a different perspective when we lose someone that we love. The overwhelming sense of what's truly important comes over you. And you also remember differently. And memories, feelings, sounds, and even smells, they all just start coming out of seemingly nowhere. And they're memories that are so deep inside of you that you don't even remember the last time you would have thought about it. And you start to remember them and smile, or maybe sometimes they make you cry, or even they might make you angry. But I've had a lot of time since he's passed to feel these feelings, and I've really appreciated that time between then and now to think about what I can share with you all today. And I'd like to share some of those memories with you and how I will remember him. So we have this neighbor across the street, and the other day he has his daughter on his lap while he was mowing the lawn. And I remembered riding on the lawnmower with my dad, and I remembered the sounds of the birds in our backyard, and I could almost smell him, not in like a stinky way, but the hot summer fresh grass smell, and I pictured his sneakers and his tank top that he would wear when he was mowing the lawn, and it made me smile. And then I was looking through pictures, and I found a couple of pictures of him in the snow. I remembered him taking me sledding, and we had this big hill near our house that we would go to. And I could hear him laughing as we went down the sled. But then I could also remember how he used to pull me back up the hill on the sled. And I could hear his breathing. And I can't imagine how tired that he was when he was doing that, but he did it anyway. And I've been listening to his music every single day, and how absolutely blessed am I to be able to have his voice in such a beautiful way. I feel like I still get to talk to him and kind of have him talk back as much as I want. And the other day, I remember this time that he came to my school. I had to be in like kindergarten or some very young age, and he brought his guitar and he played music on a hayride. And I remembered the way that the tractor felt, and I could see the sky that day. I couldn't tell you a song that he sang or what we were wearing, but I just remember him being there. And that's when I really realized that I never thought about my dad being a musician. And he was just my dad with a guitar. And I was just his daughter that was really good at walking around with a tip jar and helping him to make shakers out of pop cans with homemade Bob Walpole shake your can labels. But when someone passes, you just hold on to that person was so differently. And it's not that I never appreciated him or loved what he did, but it just became really entirely differently. And you just remember so differently. So I'll remember him when I set up my Christmas tree, and how I don't give live ones now that I'm an adult. And he's probably really annoyed at it because we used to cut ours down every single year. But I'm afraid of spiders and I don't like watering it all the time, but maybe one year we'll do that. But I'll remember the funny names that he used to put on the labels of our Christmas presents. And it's something that we've carried into our family now, and I promise I'll keep that alive. Yay, Christmas lights. This one's for you, Audrey and Natalie. I promise to always say yes to ice cream after dinner, as much as I want, and that's reasonable and healthy for my family. That was our thing. We always ate ice cream. I used to make him sundaes with like 1 million toppings for him when I was a kid. He loved Mexican sundaes the best. And one time when I was living with him at his house on Seneca Lake, I had this head cold, and I had half a pint of Ben & Jerry's in the freezer. I was at work that day, and I didn't feel good, and I was really looking forward to eating that ice cream, and I came home, and he had eaten all of it. And I will remember him when I eat Ben and Jerry's, or any ice cream for that matter. And I promise to always hide my good stuff in a better spot. I always promise to enjoy a sunset, to stop, to look, to breathe. I promise I will always offer a hug before a handshake, and you are really so lucky if you got any one of his hugs. And I promise to let him live on and to spread kindness on his behalf, to take a moment out of every day to tell someone that I appreciate them, to love them, or to thank them. And I am proud today because my dad reminded me, and he also taught me to remind myself. We used to say, "You are the best," and he really was. I know my dad is here with us today. I have felt his presence here, and since he's passed, and I'd like to picture him stopping by to visit and going off to surf the sunset. His energy is really too big to be contained. The other night, a few of us went to a local concert out near the water, and it was a beautiful night, and there was a slight breeze and a beautiful sunset, but these boats were passing by, and a few of them were sailboats. And my dad loved sailboats, and again, I never really paid attention to them. I could probably doodle one if I had to, but I never really looked at one. And I just sat there watching them, and the view was absolutely beautiful, and it was like a picture, and my dad was there with me that night. So I hope you guys find glimpses of him too. I hope he comes to visit you, and I hope you all remember him in the little moments. And because we do have the joy of listening to his music, I thought we could enjoy some of it together. I have 3 songs that I'd like to listen with you today, and I'd like to bring my dad up here one more time. I've thought long and hard on which songs I wanted to hear together. So let's bring him up. There's a stand right there we can put up here. Okay.